So, I've been doing nothing all week but sitting at my desk indoors and doing work, and today it's super sunny outside, so I thought, what better day to go outside, get a little bit of sun, and do some activity. So, I'm gonna take you guys with me to go play some soccer at a public field. Okay, so I'm only taking a couple things with me because there's not too much I need, but for sure, you need to take a water bottle because it is hot outside. You gotta stay hydrated. Then, so you gotta take a ball, so we gotta have something to play with. And I'm just gonna take an air pump, just in case something happens and the ball feels a little flat. And then the last thing I need is a pair of shoes. I have 2 pairs with me. With Nike, we have a pair of leather Tiempos and black Hypervenoms. I think that these probably go better with the fit, but can you ever go wrong with some leather shoes? I think I'm gonna go with these Tiempos over the Hypervenoms because, I mean, for one, if you've ever played in leather shoes, you know you can never beat the touch and feel of a leather shoe. But also because I'm pretty sure this field is turf and these are all black and I do not want my feet to burn. So yeah, I'm gonna pack up that bag now and get ready to head out. So here we are showing off the fit before we head out. It's a Mexico shirt with some Adidas shorts and Adidas socks. And yeah, let's get ready to head out. Yeah, it felt kind of weird filming myself walking like this on the way to the field, but thought I'd give it a try, and then along the way I ran into this little guy and he was so sweet, so I thought I had to show him off. But yeah, back to walking to the field. It's nice being in a city that has access to so many, public parks and fields like this. I feel super fortunate for that because soccer is just a really big part of my life and something that's super important to me. I grew up playing with friends and in my high school and with the club team as well. So it's nice to always be able to kind of fall back on it as a way to be active and clear your head, and that was really what I was looking for today. So really a perfect time to also just explore the new area I'm living in and get a feel for what's around. But yeah, as you can tell, we're getting a little closer to the actual field. It's in the middle of this big public park, and there it is. You can kind of see the turf there, and here it is a little closer. And it was surprisingly empty today, which I was kind of happy about because I've never played here before, much less filmed here. So it was a nice way to kind of get acclimated to the area. Okay, so we just got to the field. I put my shoes on. We do just a little bit of dribbling, a little bit of juggling, and just try to have some fun. So now I'm putting on my shoes, getting ready to get out on the field actually and play. And definitely was very happy with my decision to bring the lighter colored shoes because even though the sun wasn't quite as bright as I was expecting it to be today, as you can tell from some of the cloud coverage in the back there, the turf is hot. So now it's just time to get a couple intro touches on the ball. Haven't laced up the shoes yet, just want to get a feel for things out there. And yeah, I think this is another great time to talk about why I think it's so important to have those physical outlets. I mean, I mentioned it at the beginning of this video in my intro, but now that I'm no longer a student, I'm noticing that if I don't make the intentional effort to get more physical activity, that I just won't have as many opportunities to do so. So taking the time to be intentional about, juggling the ball like this or running around on the field is really important to me because it's something that has not only been important to me for so long in my life, but it's also a great way to sort of de-stress and refresh from a long week of sedentary life. So when I originally came out here, my plan was to set up the camera, get some clips like this juggling, and just sort of enjoy myself out there, listen to some music and kick the ball around. But what ended up happening actually was that as soon as I got out there and started sort of juggling around and getting some touches on the ball, a guy came up to me, a little older than me, and asked if I wanted to pass around with him, and I said, yeah, sure, we can use my ball to pass around. He had just come from the beach and was wanting to get the sand off of his feet, so I had no problems passing around and kind of getting warmed up, and what I was initially expecting to be a 5 to 10 minute interaction turned into over an hour of passing the ball back and forward and talking about soccer and talking about the state of the sport in the US and in the professional leagues here and the national team, which is another thing that I'm super passionate about and something I was super grateful for, because as someone who has just moved to Chicago, I don't have a lot of connections and a large network of friends and family out here, so any opportunity to interact with someone, I think especially outside of the work setting, is something that I really cherish and appreciate. Sort of regret not getting that guy's contact information, or at least sort of his phone number or anything of that sort, because I do feel like even if we had never talked again, it would have been nice to maybe have the opportunity to, but I think overall just at least having the chance to speak about the sport that I'm passionate about with someone was a really nice interaction and something that I'm really glad got to happen today. So even if my filming didn't go quite as I expected, because as you can probably tell by the clips at this point, I was already pretty hot and sweaty, it's not something I would have changed. So after a bunch of time spent juggling and just doing keep-ups, I decided I want to take a couple shots on goal as well, which a lot of them were not the most impressive, to be honest. I was definitely aware in the back of my mind that there were lots of families sitting on the grass enjoying the sun behind the goal and didn't really want to risk hitting the ball into them, but still nice to get some shots on goal, even if it was only a few, really, just because my soccer playing as of recently, pretty much since I graduated high school, has definitely been more small-sided and not on big goals, which is nice. I honestly like the fact that in small-sided games you get a lot more touches on the ball and everything is a little bit more fast-paced. But at the same time, it's always fun to take some shots and to ping some long passes on a full-sized field. And this was a little bit of a shorter field with some smaller nets, as you can tell by looking at my height compared to the crossbar, but it was still nice to sort of reminisce on older days of playing on full-size fields. Something that I definitely like to check out as I get a little bit more settled here in the city is a men's league or a co-ed league, just to have a more consistent way to play and to also meet other people. I think that's something I've really missed in recent years and in recent times, is not having that sort of team feeling you get from playing week in, week out on a team. And even if it's just a casual way of doing so and not with the level of practice that I would do in my high school days, I think that the camaraderie you're able to build from that, especially being a young person in a city where you don't know too many people, is something that could be really beneficial for me. At the same time, though, I do think there's a beauty in just going out on a whim by yourself to a local park or a field just to kick the ball around and shoot on goal and take some touches like this. And so, as much as I do want to get involved in some sort of organized form, I want to continue to take advantage of this field. So now we're wrapping up the session. Ended up being longer than I expected because of the encounter with my friend that I ended up passing the ball with, but no regrets for that whatsoever. It was a great afternoon, and so now you just see me taking the shoes and unlacing them a little bit and getting ready to head out. I'm super glad I took the time to do this and come out here, and I'm really glad that I decided to film it because it was a really nice time, and it's fun looking back on these clips, even if it wasn't the most impressive displays of skill. So thank you.